Hey guys, welcome back. Part 3 of the build of this amusing hobby E-100, and yeah, it's not quite the a joyful experience I was hoping it would be, but never mind, we'll get it done. Right, so we're on with the sprockets now. I've got the parts off the sprues, so we've got an outer sprocket, inner bearing housing or transmission case, and then we've got a stub there which goes on, and then for the idler we've got the two inner sections and then the one outer section, which I think is the best looking idler out there. If that doesn't look like a custom Land Rover wheel, I don't know what does. That's beautiful. So just give that a little clean actually on that front face, because it's in fact I'll clean them up when they're all together. With the idlers I always sand them to get the faces so that they're actually all square as they would be in real life, you know, level with each other. So right, so we want, and let's start with this pile. So we want to put this into here, and oh, it looks like it actually is going to turn this one. There's a surprise. And then that goes on there, but once again it doesn't push on, so we need to glue it. So I'm going to use my quick setting here, good old Mr. Smelly, and then put some glue inside there. Let that start to go off a bit, and then just pop that on like that. I mean, really, at the end of the day, if it doesn't turn, it's not the end of the world. I don't need to play with it or the tank. And then this outer sprocket's going to go on here. Now, the first thing I want to check before I do any gluing, even though it's pegged, will it line up? It's actually got, it's quite good actually, but it looks okay. Let's try it in the track. Oh my god, it does fit. It does actually fit the track. There we go. I didn't think it would, and I would have had money on it not fitting. I mean, it's not perfect and I've got to squeeze it on. There's no, there we go. It's kind of, that's how well it fits. You'd be able to use it like in a radio controlled application, but I guess the fact that it clips on there and stays on there is good. The only problem is I'll probably pull the track apart getting it off, because it's not the most secure in the world. So let's just put some glue on there. Put these two together. And then put the track on to make sure it lines up. I mean, there's no real play between the sprockets anyway. You can't, normally you can sort of get some adjustment, but there isn't any on this one. So yeah, there you go. So we'll leave that in there just to go off a second, and then we'll do the other one. Oops, that goes in there. Then put some glue in here. Let that just go off a bit, and push that on there. Like I say, if it doesn't turn, it's not the end of the day, not the end of the world, especially with those tracks the way they are. And I'm going to put some glue on here, and then push these together. Yeah, see that track's falling apart already. The whole kit's not that amazing, so I'm not surprised the tracks aren't that good. So let's just try and push this on here. There we go, that's come apart as well. So I can see me having to glue this track together anyway. There we go, the track fits beautifully. That track is so wide. To give you an idea, these blocks here are 1 inch, and yeah, it's like 1 1/8 inch wide, or inch and 1/8, what's that, 32 mil, isn't it? So 1, 2, no, it's not 32, is it? It's about 30 millimeters wide. So yeah, very wide track indeed. Sort of makes you glad this thing never got produced, doesn't it? You can't imagine what this thing would have done to a battalion of Shermans. Yeah, the tracks go together with these tiny pins, and as I said earlier, you either elongate the holes or snap the pins off, which renders them useless as a working track. So I don't need to put the top back on the glue. So let's look at these sprockets now, or these return idlers. So we've got that one there going on to that one there, I guess. Yep, so flat side to flat side. Okay, so they key together like that, so I'll put the glue in there. And they'll go together like that. As I say, now what I'll do is I'll sand those so that they're perfectly flat and level with each other. And then, oh, I see they want you to glue that on, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that in there. See if I can get away with not gluing that on yet. And not only is that not a tight fit, it doesn't even go over the pin. Oh yeah, it does. So that will actually be a push-on fit. So that's better. Right, so I know that there'll be a push-on fit, so I can go on and glue this one in place. And I really don't give a damn if this turns or not. It probably won't, because that that turning part is actually behind, right behind where the glue joint is. There we go. Do the same on this one. Put some glue on there, let the capillary action take it round. In like that. There we go. That one in there. That one on there. There we go. Job done. Lovely. So that's the idlers and the sprockets done. Track falling apart. You can see what I'm saying here about this track. It goes, you've got these tiny little pins on here, and then you've got these holes in here, and you kind of clip it in, and as you push it in, it either rips the side of the hole away or snaps the pin off. So yeah, not very strong, but you know, at least they're workable. I'd kind of rather have them click together and then have to glue them, rather than just have the type where you just push them together and glue them and then take them off and fold them around. This makes life a lot easier when it comes to painting and then fitting them afterwards and stuff, in my opinion. So I'll just check if the idlers, yeah, they fit fine. So there we go. So that's them, and now we need to add those sprockets to the main hull. And they don't seem to want to fit in there. It's got a recess it's supposed to fit in. It doesn't seem to want to go. Let's try this side. It does look as though the pin is actually preventing it from going in, so I'm going to take the top of that pin off. Just removing the pin to make this side of it smoother to allow the part to sit into the recess. In fact, I'm not really sure if it needs the pin at all. Yeah, I think I'll take that pin completely off. I don't think it needs it at all. Take my hard sanding stick. Just sand that all flat. And I reckon that'll fit in there lovely now. Yeah, there we go. It slots in there a treat. So some glue around there. I guess some of you guys are model making now. I guess you've had your Christmas festivities or had the family round or got back home after visiting family, and you might now be on your bench listening to me waffling on here, my meanderings. Maybe you started a new kit today. Maybe you started a new kit that you got for Christmas. Did any of you get a Lancaster for Christmas? Or perhaps that B-24? I'm guessing there was a few happy faces today under the when they found those under the tree. I did read somewhere online. Apparently, they reckon that they could have well sold out the initial allocation. That first lot of Lancasters that had the clear fuselage parts, they reckon they could have sold out already. It's absolutely crazy. But I expect Hannets have still got some, but I think Hannets are one of the only companies in the country now that still charge full retail. But I think they also supply a lot of shops though, so I guess that's how their stocks get dwindled down. I had a funny experience with Hannets actually earlier in the year. I contacted them to say, just looking at this photo etch you've got here, I don't understand it, but if I buy the parts of this photo etch set individually, it works out cheaper than if I buy the it wasn't Edard, it was HGW, but you know, you can get like the HGW special set. It's cheaper for me to buy them individually than to buy the complete set. I think your prices must be wrong. So they came back and they said, yeah, the prices of the individual parts were too low, so they changed them. I said, oh great, so can I now get the parts at the old prices please? And they said, nope. Oh, thanks very much. It's really good of you. Really good of you, well done. I got problems with this wheel alignment now. It's I've got so much camber on these wheels at the front, it's untrue, which I can't get rid of. I sort of bend them and get them right. So I think there's going to be copious amounts of glue going in there and then getting everything tweaked and bent to be, and it'll just have to remain on a flat surface, that's all. So yeah, certainly not Tamiya this one, or Takom, or Meng, or Dragon. So not 100% over the moon. And then what I'm going to do with these wheels, now they're assembled, take a fairly smooth sanding stick, not the smoothest in the world, and just go around here and sand these at an angle like this, and that gets them all like the same diameter, so it's like a complete cylinder rather than being 3 different diameters or having them angled, you know, stepped, whatever. I'm just looking, it's 4:30 now, and this is part 3, and I'm uploading part 2 at the moment, and it's on 69%, so that'll be up soon-ish. Seems to be taking forever to upload anything today. And then I've got the smooth side here, and I can just, these are great, these Flory 6 with the smooth side and the sort of what some people would say coarse side, they're absolutely great, because once you've used them a few times, you take the top off. This goes from being like a, I don't know, like a 120 or 120 grit down to like a 240 within minutes of using it. So it's becomes a very handy stick, and it's quite a soft sponge, and it's perfect for doing round things or things that you don't want to flat on, like wheels, for instance. So there we go, there's that one done. I'll just sand this one round. And there we go. And then polish it with the pack. And that gets everything sorted with them. So that's the sprockets and the idlers done. Now we'll start looking at the hull. Right, so on with the rear end of the tank now. The first thing I notice is that we've got this here. It's telling me not to glue the hinges for this rear flap, and I just don't know why. Why would I want to be able to get access into there? So I've got to go and find that rear panel, which is on sprue H. I'm assuming this is sprue H. Yes. Nope, this is sprue E. Okay, that's H, this is E. Right, so let's get this part off the sprue. And then we've got, that's it for the E's. I don't need any more E's. Get rid of that bag. And then let's find, what do we want? This is sprue H. I want H27, which is there. I'm not going to bother with these interior handles because I'm not going to have this open. H3 is a handle. There. H6, they're hinges, so we'll take them off. So they're going to go there. Get rid of that pip. And then I want F, which I believe is this little tool sprue here. Yep. F, two F9s, which are here. And I want F2, which is there. It's that wooden block. And I want a C26. This is C over here. C26 is there. Wow, massive sprue gate on that one. And then I want two A38s. So these are the A sprues here. So I need two A38s, which are these, what I believe are rear reflectors by the look of it, or light units. There we go. So let's get these cleaned up. Beauty of these Tamiya side cutters is that you can go very close to the part when you're removing sprue gates without running the risk of damaging anything, which is very handy because it saves you having to use the knife to clean up. You can just go straight in with a sanding stick, which you'll see me do now. And there we go. So let's get these cleaned up now with a sanding stick. There's times like this I look up now and it says memory full. I think, oh, thanks. You get no audible warning or anything. You just, when you've finished was going to say, when you finish recording, you won't finish recording. The phone's finished recording long ago. You finished doing what you think you're recording, doing what you're doing that you want to record, and yeah, look, before you know it, you're bloody well, it's not before you know it. It's when you look up, you see that your phone is actually run out of memory, and then you go back and see what point. And sometimes it's like 2 minutes into a 15-minute shot, and it's really annoying, especially with something like this. I mean, it wouldn't bother me at all with actually this kit, but if I was showing you how I've soldered some brass together or something, and or how I've rolled this gun barrel like I've done in the past, and then you find that the camera actually ran out of memory halfway through, you don't have the part there to do it again, so you have to sort of wait for the next kit to be able to show that method of how you do stuff off. And yeah, quite annoying, very annoying. I need to get myself a proper camera for doing this stuff, really, because I'm using a phone. Like I said earlier, I tried a webcam and it was awful. Couldn't get on with that at all. I don't think the quality of the picture was as good as with the iPhone, and also the fact that it kept focusing. I mean, now doing this, it would drive you absolutely around the bend, because A, you wouldn't have the quality, and B, it just kept refocusing. And if I turned the autofocus off and had it, you know, a fair distance away, then it was no good if I did something like this to show you this in detail, because it just wouldn't focus at all. I mean, some days it does seem to be, you know, by the day, the iPhone won't focus. I don't know why it would be by the day, but it certainly appears that way. I use my hard stick on this one because I've got a chamfered edge here, and I don't want to ruin that nice sharp edge, so I can use this hard stick. I actually spoke to Phil Froy about this at Scale Model World, and I said you need to start making these sort of hard sticks like this, because, you know, we use the ones from Tesco's, which are all well and good, they do the job, but if he made them, I think they'd be longer lasting. But something like that, if you were in there with a sponge, you'd end up with the face all rivet wavy around, but with this you can make sure you keep it nice and straight. And the same here. You know, I just want to remove the sprue nib, and because it's hard, it's not soft, it'll find its own level, and it'll take that sprue nib off. And there again, look, just stand it away, and there we go, sprue nib's gone, and the face is still absolutely dead straight. So that door is going to fit in there like that. I don't know why they have it opening. It's seems very strange to me. So this handle is going to go on the outside here. If you notice, I haven't cleaned the sprue nib off. I never do. Just get a tiny bit of my quick set in. Put a tiny little drop in there. Another little drop on there. Because I find it much easier to remove that sprue nib after the part's fitted than it is now, because once it's fit, once the glue's gone off, you can rub that along gently with a sanding stick, and the nib will go away, and you've got something to hold it. So where's my soft one? Let's just re-establish a radius on there. This is on the rear lights. Where's the other one gone? There it is, hiding under the wooden block, proving that the block is actually not a block at all, it's a hollow box. So I lied, and it's not wooden, it's plastic. So I lied on 2 counts. Okay, so this thing mounts on here, like so. Just get some glue on there, and then I can show you. That's there. It's obviously not a light, it's a cover. It's like a metal cover for access to something. It's probably the track tensioners or something. So Something I can't get out of my mind. I cannot get out of my mind is that Lancaster. I really want to start it, but I know I really mustn't because I've got too much on the go already. And as much as I love most things American, the Lancaster really is something that's I've been amazed. I've been in love with for years. I love the bloody things. They're gorgeous. I think we all do, don't we? I think anybody who's got into aviation absolutely loves a Lancaster. Just put some glue in there. Let's fit that C26 first because it's the smallest part. So it's got two little pins on it. It just pops in like that. It's got massive pinholes for tiny little pins. And then these go one like that. Oops, I've left a sprue connection point on there. And a mould seam. Come on, Nigel, what are you doing? Bad habits. Well, it's not bad habits, it's stupid mistakes, isn't it? It's not bad habits. So just put some glue in there. Some glue in there. If you're using this quick setting stuff, in fact right now I don't know where I am, but if you do use quick setting stuff you need to be a little bit more careful than you do with extra thin because it's that much hotter and it will actually mark the plastic around it. Like if you get a dab of the extra thin on the surface here, it probably, once it's painted, you probably never even see it, but whereas with this stuff it does notice. So that's that done. So now we can go on and put the door on. But I'll tell you what, just in case it's required for assembly, you need to get up in there for something. I'll do my best at making the hinges operate, but I'm not going to bust a gut over it. So that goes over there like that. Push that up. Then some cement. So that's gone down. And then same on this side. I wonder if part 2 is uploaded yet. I can't see because the screen's gone to sleep. Let's put some glue in there and a drop in there. I've got a hair there. Nice. So it's okay to have a hair actually on a German tank, isn't it? Just means it's got a man. I'll get my coat. So there we go. Trying to get those straight. There we are. That's the back end done, and we've got an opening door. Quite why, I do not know. It's strange how some of these companies do this. I don't know what they're thinking at the design stage when they do stuff like this. So there we go, and now that won't glue to there yet. I need to put these parts on. So I've got C2 and C3. And that one's 2 that's in there, right? So, oh, it's going to be obvious which is which. Yeah, I think I might sit down for an hour this evening with a can of beer and watch Dam Busters. It might even be on TV, but I've got the DVD, so yeah, this Lancaster thing is this is what happens. These kits come out, and then you sort of look at them, and then you sort of think that doesn't look right. I'll have a look at this. I'll have a look at something else, and then you start looking at your books and looking online at pictures, and all of a sudden your interest is raised once more for these aircraft and military vehicles that we all love so much. So there we go. That's going to go in there, and it doesn't fit. So that needs to be widened up a bit. So just get my knife and just take a touch off of there. Will it fit now? Yes. So that's going to go in there. I don't know why I keep using this quick settings. Put that away. That stinks as well. So we'll put that in place there so it's level on the bottom, because we want a level bottom, don't we? I'll put plenty of extra thin in there and maybe use that and get a weld seam or a joint that I can sand, one or the other. Oops. Yeah, I think I need a bit out the base of it as well. Just take a bit out the base to make it fit a bit smoother, a bit more flush. Oh yes, that one, isn't it? There we go, that's better. So yeah, put some extra thin in there now. That'll capillary down into the joint. Give it a nudge. And there we go. Some glue down there. That's that one done, and then the same on this side. Yeah, that one doesn't fit either. So I'll go out on a limb and I'll take some. I'll take something out the bottom as well, because we need to take something out the bottom. Yeah, that fits lovely now. So hold that in position. Get some Tamiya extra thin in there. And that's that. In fact, I've been quite a long time filming, haven't I, here? I hope you're still awake. There we go. That's that done, and then what I'll do is I'll get this in here, and then we'll call that a day for this one. I left a bit of a no. I thought I left a bit of a sprue nib on that one then. So this is going to slide down in there. And sit like. Now, because I've had to move those back in to get them flush, now that won't go in there, but if I force it, sort of a bit of a strange fit really. There we go, that's in now. Not quite clear how that's supposed to go. I don't know if that's supposed to be. It's weird this, because if you look at it, this is narrower than the hull by a mile, but it's only slightly wider than them. So you would think it would be the same width there, wouldn't you? But it's not. What this one's like. Yeah, that one's the same look. That's the other type of rear end. That's obviously for the rear-engined version. Yeah. I'll call it a day there, and I'll get my head around that and see what I'm going to. I'll probably have to put some plastic strip in there or something, because I want to make sure that's in the centre. And we've also got these little lower parts here that looks like it's supposed to come over and fill that gap between them, but it doesn't. It's all a bit crap, to be honest, is the word I'm looking for. It's all a bit very crap. I can't really see how it's supposed to go at all. I'll call that a day and I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, I've worked it out. This panel is supposed to fit between these two parts I added here and then clip down over the top of them. Now, if you can see, I've got this seam here that I've got to deal with that's going to be quite visible on the finished tank. But also, if you look how tight that is in there, you can see there how much wider this is than they are. And you can see that I've got forced that in there like that. That's ridiculous. So I need to do some sanding on there. And I also want to put some more glue in these and get this seam improved on here. Because once that back end's on, it won't be so easy to sand these. So I'll call that a day there for part 3, is it? And then I'll come back to you later with part 4, which will be section 8. We're actually starting to work on the main upper hull and add some grills and periscopes and stuff. So I'll see you then.